Okay, just left Home Depot and picked up everything that I need based on my plans to build a flagpole that I've been wanting to do for quite some time. So I'm just going to go over what I picked up. Make sure you can see everything. That is 1.25" 10-foot EMT, 1.5" 10-foot EMT, and 2" PVC. Pulley. I plan on making this flag so I can hang 2 flags. That's why I got 4 hooks. Eye hook, cleat. I bought this no hub to connect the 2" PVC a little above the ground to the 1.5" EMT. Bought this. This is basically a cap for a fence, and I bought a PVC cap also. Got 1/4" by 100 rope, and I got this Hampton Bay 31" solar globe stake because I like the ball on the top to put on top of the flagpole, and I was trying to come up with some idea. I got Rust-Oleum metallic silver and Rust-Oleum metallic bronze to paint the ball on top. The metallic silver I'm going to paint the EMT with to prevent them from rusting. Lastly, Secrete fast setting concrete, 50-pound bag. My intention is to bury about 4 to 5 feet of PVC in the ground, cement it in, level it, and then stick the 1.5" inside of the PVC, and then the 1.25" inside of the 1.5" EMT. Painting the EMT, keep it from rusting. Unfortunately, it's not galvanized and not stainless. Using a Rust-Oleum silver metallic paint. Next step, find a place to dig the hole. I plan on putting curved bricks around the base and filling it in with some kind of river rock. So it's time to get digging. Alright, so that's where we are so far. I don't know if you can see that sun out. It's about 32 inches actually, and still going. Alright, here we are, down about 42 inches or so. I don't know if you can see down there. And the plan is to backfill a little bit, level this off, and then pour in the Saccrete and the water and ensure it's level. I'm going to keep the entire length of this PVC right now. Reason is I'm going to cut it about 3 or 4 inches, maybe 5 inches off the ground when I'm done, and then connect the or slide the EMT into the PVC and use a no hub fitting that you saw previously. Alright, so here I am. Got my fast setting Saccrete, my water bucket, and I filled it up about halfway. And now I'm going to fill it up. I'm going to start pouring in the Saccrete, mix it in there, pour a little more, empty the bag, and then I'm going to make sure it's level and let it sit overnight. Alright, it's setting, so we'll let that dry overnight. Put my cones over there, make sure nobody walks in the hole. Coat of metallic bronze on that was Hampton Bay's piece I bought at Home Depot. Glass globe. That's going to be the topper on my flag. I saw toppers, but they were all about 1 inch or 2 inches on eBay, and everywhere else that wasn't big enough, so hopefully this works out. Okay, next day. I don't know if you can see down there. Better. Next day. Yeah, looks like it's dried. Yep, solid. Then I'm going to fill it in with the dirt pulled out yesterday. Alright, painted poles, EMT, and I've got the 1 1/4" inside of the 1 1/2" and I left, I got it about a foot inside. So I've got 9 feet showing on this end, 10 feet on here, and I've already had this clevis pin. Plan on using this clevis pin to hold the two together. I'm going to drill a hole in there and lock it in, and this way I can easily remove the clevis pin, let down the top telescoping pole, and have easy access to the top of the flags if need be. Always a good idea to get a starting hole with a punch, especially when you're drilling into something round like this. The drill bit has a tendency to walk around, so we'll get a pilot hole started, probably about closer to the top. I want it as strong in there structurally as I can. Hole drilled, clevis pin is in there. I'll probably just clean up the holes on the outside a little bit, smooth them out. I may change this design, but we'll try this just for now. All right, next step, we're going to connect our eye bolt and our pulley. Now this pulley I got is really for up to 1/2 inch rope. They do have smaller ones for 1/4 inch. The eye bolt I got is stainless, so that'll help. So we're going to drill a hole at the top, allowing still for the cap to go on. I painted the PVC cap. This was a threaded cap for 1.5 inches, I believe, because the glue-on threaded cap was too big. So this fits snug, and I'll probably still put a screw through there to hold it on, and I plan on attaching that ball we painted, drilling a hole through here and figuring out how to attach it on the bottom so it doesn't wobble. Same process, drilling the hole here. I'll probably take it down about 2 inches to 2.5 inches and punch again and drill right through for the eye bolt. I added a stainless steel washer on this side, stainless steel washer on this side with a lock washer, and the stainless steel bolt that came in the package with the eye hook. Now before I tighten the eye bolt on, I realized that that opening is not going to be big enough to slip this through from the pulley, so I'm going to have to expand that opening, slide the pulley in, then I'll put the eye hook through and tighten it up. But before I do that, because this pulley was not stainless or galvanized, I'm probably going to give it a coat of the metallic paint just to keep it from rusting. Unfortunately, I don't want to get it on the pulley, on the inside part. It may stick. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to paint the base, the lower section, probably the lower 4 or 5 inches of the PVC with the same metallic silver, so it blends in nicely with the pole. I don't want that white showing with the silver. It just won't have a nice look to it. Painting the pulley, decided I better paint the clevis pin also, because I had that laying around and I'm not sure if it's stainless or galvanized or anything else. I don't want to take a chance on it rusting. That's one coat on the bottom of the PVC. It's hard to see. Also just went over to Home Depot, picked up these scalloped curved bricks to put around the perimeter. I'm going to go with a 48-inch circle, and Home Depot had these on sale which match my siding. Pretty cool looking rocks. 8 bags I got. That should do it. That's all I had left. And they were on sale for $3 and something a bag, which wasn't bad on clearance. I'm also going to put weed block down before I put any of the rocks down. I don't want weeds growing up through here. Lay down 2 tape measures, centered on 24 inches, 48. Give me an idea where I'm going to start cutting the circle. I have to set the bricks down about 1 inch or 2 in the ground, so just to give me a rough idea. Alright, I got those in. Have to adjust a little bit, and you gotta, some of them are a little higher than the others, like the one in the back over there, so I'm going to dig that down a little. Then what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to dig out a bunch of this dirt so I can get these rocks in there because it's kind of high. And I've got my trusty weed block right here to put down before I put the rocks in. Then after the rocks are in, that's when I'll cut the PVC. Dug out most of what I'm going to do and then filled the outside perimeter up with the dirt from the inside. Keep the bricks stationary while I'm pouring in the other rocks. So that's where I'm at right now. Getting ready to put down the weed block. The weed block is down. I actually cut a hole in and slid it over the top. I got to fill it up with rocks. Rocks are all in. Just made it. Bought 8 bags. And just enough. It all depends on the depth, how far you want to dig down, how many bags you'll need. It's easy enough to calculate. You measure the diameter, and from there you figure out your circumference or the perimeter, and then you know how many of the scallop bricks to get based on the length of each one. All the formulas are in online to figure out area, square footage that you need for the rocks, and to figure out circumference. I spread out the eye hook, as you can see, so the pulley will easily fit in there. And then I'm putting it back together, and I'm going to hammer the loop closed again so it doesn't fall out. Tighten down. Use the ratchet. Held this end with a screwdriver in there, and it's got to be facing this way. Make sure you don't have the eyelid facing up. It's got to be facing this way, so when you put the string through this pulley, it'll go up and down easily. Challenge. Hacksawed off the end on this brass ball I painted. I'm going to drill a hole in the top of this PVC for that to slide through. And then I have to figure out how I'm going to connect it to the PVC. That's the next challenge. I figured that out. Drilled a hole, put a cotter pin in, and a stainless washer. I'm going to paint those brass, even though you won't see them on the top of the pole, but I want it to blend. Also drilled a hole out very tight around this brass pole so it won't wobble. Now reverse the cotter pin and the washer. The washer should be on the bottom, laying against the PVC. So this is basically how it's going to fit. I'm going to fill the base of the PVC up with silicone seal to make a more snug fit and to keep water from getting in the top too. There you go. Also stuck a washer, which is pretty tight in the first place, on the inside of the PVC before I fill it up with silicone in there. I think it'll help support it even further and keep it from wobbling. Alright, I painted the brass washers and the cotter pin, and I filled up the inside of the PVC with silicone seal. And now I'm going. One thing I didn't anticipate, this pole, the length of that pole hits the eyelid on the inside, but I already tried it, and I could sneak it past there and still push it in, because I didn't want to cut the length of this extension on the brass pole. I wanted it in as deep as we can get it for strength. I did have to cut down the rest of the pole further. It was going in on an angle because it was hitting against the eyelid on the inside. So hopefully the silicone that's inside, once that dries, will keep it tight. Alright, I drilled a hole through the PVC cap, through the pipe. I also filled the inside of the PVC cap with a silicone seal. I'm trying to make sure I don't get any water in there. So this should hold. I did buy a stainless steel screw to prevent any rusting. Alright, next I have to measure the distance between the eyelids on the flag, and measure about 33 inches. And I'm going to make it a little wider to set the clips that I'm going to attach the flag to, that will be tied on to the rope. I put this sheet down because we can't put the flag on the ground. It's disrespectful. And there's one clip. I marked it off right about They're about 35, 36 inches, so when it pulls it tight, the flag will stay stretched out, and I'm just dry running it now, make sure they fit okay. These clips I got had a hole in there, so I just made a knot and tied them on. I threaded the rope through the pulley, and see both clips. And you're going to have to make a loop in the rope after you determine how long you're going to need it to be. And then I'll cut it and tie it up on the cleat. Also, just as information, they do sell solar lights that mount. They have a hole inside and they mount right here on the pole. If I decide to do that, I'll just pop this off, take out the silicone, and put it on there. And there's two different types, one that mounts here and one that actually clips right to the pole and shines upward. If you want to put a light there, solar light, so you always have, you're really supposed to have the flag illuminated every evening, or the entire time it's dark out. All right, time to cut the PVC. Make it about 8 inches up. I can always make it a little smaller, so I'm going to cut about 8 inches up and see how that works out. All right, cut the PVC. Didn't come out very straight, but it's not going to matter because it's going to be covered with the no hub fitting. That's a no hub I've used, 2.5 by 1.5 inch. And I got my poles ready. The hole on that side, and I've got to attach the flag before I put the poles together. I'll never get up that high. So here I go with that. All right, clevis pin is in. Next thing is I've got to attach the flag. I realized I have to tie the ropes together and make a knot there. There's actually knots that you can go online. They teach you how to make for flagpole knots. But I realized that once I put this up, this is not going to be hanging down low enough for me to be able to tie that knot. So I had to do it in advance. Made another adjustment. I don't want the knot up high where I can't reach it. So I pulled that cord all the way down here, and I'm going to rethread in the clips. Once again, 36 inches apart up there, and then I'll tie the knot. I actually won't even have to tie it. It'll be long enough now. I retied the clips on at, it's about 36 inches, and now I've got the rest of this rope, plenty of slack, all the way down almost to the bottom, so I won't have to worry about tying a loop while the pole is down here. I can do it when it's installed. Now I put my no hub seal on there. Should help keep the water out also, and give it more support, keep it from wobbling so much. Decided I'm going to do a thin silicone seal around this around the no hub fitting, because it doesn't fit very tight on the 1.5 inch, because one's EMT and one of course is for plumbing, so differences in diameters just to keep the water out of there. So just a thin coat of silicone around the perimeter on the no hub fitting, keep the water out of there. So here's where we're at so far. I just have it tied up to the clevis pin for now. As you can see with the sun, but it looks great. Looks great. I'm going to get a new cleat. The cleat that I got at Home Depot is too small. I want to keep a good length of rope in case I want to extend this and make it another 10 feet or so. So I have a boat shop locally, and I thought that all the boats use cleats, so I'll go over there and pick up a fiberglass one or a steel one. It'll be much bigger. I just went to the boat shop, also a bait shop. They have boat supplies there, and I got a plastic cleat, much bigger than the one I had, and I had to pick up 2-inch stainless screws too. So I'm going to attach this to the pole, and I wanted to allow myself an extra 10 to 12 feet of rope in case I decide to extend it. So rather than cutting it the way it is now and looping it, I'm going to add another well, I'm going to allow for another 10-12 feet of rope, and that's why I also needed a bigger cleat to be able to tie all that extra rope around this. Alright, so I'm going to attach the cleat right onto the pole, and I'm going to put it on the same side as the pulley is so it doesn't twist around the pole. So all I'm going to do now is mark off where the holes are and drill them out. Punched 2 holes in there again. Give me a pilot hole for drilling. A lot easier on poles. Cleats up. I got to work on cutting the rope and allowing an extra 10-12 feet. Now I cut it. Just got to burn the end here to keep it from fraying now. That should do it. Now I'm going to make my loop and tie it on the cleat, and that should do it. I decided that I'm going to paint the no hub with that same silver to make it blend a little better. I just didn't like the way that no hub stands out looking at the flag after a little while. That doesn't look bad. Paint's up okay. Put the sheet down to protect the rocks from the paint, of course. First coat, not bad. Let that dry. Probably hit it with one more coat. Now that's better. So I painted the no hub and resprayed some of the pole, and here's where we are now, all completed. Perfect. Should do it. All set.
Spacious skies,
there we go.
far amber waves of grain.
Beautiful.
Far purple mountain majesties. Over the fruited plain. Well, now wait a minute. I'm talking about America, sweet America. You know, God done shed his grace on thee. He crowned our good. Yes, he did. Give it brotherhood from sea to shining sea.